Good evening everyone, I hope you're doing well, and today we're going to be taking another gander at some Doctor Who figurines, this time all the way from Series 1 to Series 3, and I apologise in advance for the way my nails look. My little sister painted them for me. Fantastic work. The camera also keeps focusing on Banakafalata. He is the true star of this show, not me. He's taking over my channel from now on. Banakafalata, cyborg! First, let's start with the Series 1 figurines. So, first up is a figurine we already had a look at. It's the Slitheen. If you want to see a more kind of in-depth look at this figurine, I would recommend you check out my last video. Yeah, just a quick gander. It's still just as cool as it was the last time I looked at them. Basically, why I'm looking at this one again is because I found this along with all the rest of them when I was at my nan's house. My auntie was sorting out some old toys and decided to donate this to me. Thank you. A worthy charity. Me. But yeah, so this is the Slitheen. Now let's move on to the second one I have. The next figurine is the 10th Doctor Regeneration version. Wow, this one is kind of, I don't know, I guess a little more sought after because it is such a cool idea, you know, to have a regeneration version instead of just the classic. His legs are a bit unhinged because this is a very old figure. Clearly we played with this one quite a lot because all of these figures are from when I was a kid. So for the 10th Doctor Regeneration version, there was also one released in a twin pack with the 9th Doctor in the Doctor Regeneration set, but I think this was just one that we got by itself. It's really cool. I mean, we got the classic v-neck jumper. Oh, sexy. Only the 9th Doctor could pull that off, you know. Kind of looks decent in it, but come on, 9th Doctor looks great in a v-neck. He made it cool. And we got the really cool jacket, which is a softer, more malleable plastic. And that really cool texture on the clothes, which just adds that amount of realism, you know. Just looks like real leather. So cool. And then his face, it doesn't look too bad. You can tell it's David Tennant, especially from this side profile, as well with his kind of longer hair, which eventually I think got a little less shaggy. His arms turn around 360 and they turn around here and at the elbow. He can bend his knees and his legs. Ooh, look at that effect at the bottom of the shoe. That's really cool actually. Wow, because those shoes actually look really cool because they've got the laces and stuff on them. Those are some nice ass shoes. I wish I had those. Not gonna lie, I wanted to start doing cosplay, but it's expensive. Sad noises. Aww. The next figurine that I have to show you guys is the Mox of Balhoon. Look at him. Ah, oh. Can we get his face in shot? Oh, sexy boy.
Yes, sir.
This one in particular is very special. I'll show you why. Oh, he's shy. He's trying to go off the camera. No. Okay, so with the Mox of Balhoon, there was a 2007 re-release as well with a pull back and go motion, as well packaged with 2 robot spiders, which I believe this one is. Because I remember having the robot spiders, and obviously this has the pull back and go motion when it works. Mox of Balhoon, perhaps the sexiest Doctor Who monster of all time. Yeah, there's not really any. Oh, actually, sexier than the Absorbloff. That's up to the comments to decide. Which one do you think is sexier, the Mox of Balhoon or the Absorbloff? Because I think they're very close. Even the Slitheen, I think, are pretty sexy. Obviously, Banakafalata as well. There's so many sexy monsters. I'm surprised Doctor Who's only a 12, you know, it should be an 18 at this point. But yeah, anyway, his arms move around You know, looks like he's trying to get a taxi or something, which you probably have to have a bit of a ramp for him to get in.
Get a move on, slow coach.
And they got the golden balls, a couple of balls on here. And I like this design on here. I'd never realised before, but it's kind of, you know, like the shape of the actual chair. Imagine having pictures or engravings of your chair on your chair. That would be so sick. Oh my god, look at his ass. Sorry. Damn. Look at that. He's got some cake. Anyway, this is a really cool figure, perhaps my favourite, and I love that they did this, because I feel like nowadays we kind of lack that in a lot of Doctor Who figurines. You know, we get the standard Doctor and companions, but we never see kind of the cooler looking villains again, because I remember when they did the Empress of Arachnos figurine, which is huge and it's so cool, and I remember having it, and the fact that they did that, because now obviously they just mostly make human figurines and obviously Dalek ones, but I don't know, I feel like we're kind of lacking that. I'd like to see a lot of figurines from series 12 as well, of the villains. Is there a Sasha Dewan figure? I don't know. I hope there will be. But also, it would be kind of cool to have like a Kasavin one, which glows in the dark or something. That would be so cool. Or like a lamp kind of thing that you just put batteries in and turn it on. That would be so sick of a Kasavin. Or the Chigascus or something. Or the Cyber Masters. Oh my god, that would be sick. I hope they do that. Character options, please, please, please make that. Anyway, yes, this is the man himself, Sexy Man. And anyway, next up we have the Empty Child again. Okay, so I already spoke about this in my last video. So if you want to see more about the Empty Child figurine, watch my last video where I mostly reviewed Series 1 figures. And yep, he came in a pack with Captain Jack, I believe. Captain Jack Harkness. Same as always. Here he is, with his triangular nose, we know. Okay, now moving on to the Series 2 figurines. The Cyber Leader, oh my god, so cool. So the Cyber Leader is a 2010 B&M re-release of the 2007 Cyber Leader, which was only found in the Dalek Battle Pack. This is the 2010 version, and it did not include the EMP grenade or removable chest plate. Very disappointing, but you know, it's cool anyway. I remember actually seeing this at the Doctor Who experience. I think it was the one in the Red Dragon Centre, which, oh my god, it used to be free to go into that one, so I used to go in it literally every single day with my mum. Oh my god, it was so cool. And then they started charging, and then my mum got a bit annoyed, and then we stopped going. Oh, it was so sick, but I was always so terrified. Age of Steel. So his feet move around a little bit. Bend his legs, they're a bit stiff. Oop, they're a bit stiff because he's old. You can bend his knee. You can bend his arm out a little bit, but the top part stops it from going out too far, so maybe about 45 degrees. And he can bend his elbow. Obvs, can't really. He can bend his hands around, but they're stiff because it's old. And he can move his head all the way around. Very creepy. And he can move it up and down. Hello. My dude's listening to some powerful music right now. Yeah, I think this is really, really cool. What tends to happen with like silver figurines especially, the paint comes off a lot more easily. A lot easier. I don't know. English student. But it's not so bad, and it kind of also adds a bit of realism, I guess, if it does kind of chip off like this, because, you know, it's not going to be perfect. Plus, you know, Cyber Leader kind of got shanked near the end. But here he is anyway, in all of his glory. All of them. All two of his glories. It honestly looks so... Oh my god. He's got the legal stuff on his ass. Damn. Got some sort of tramp stamp. I feel like even the Cybermen looked so 2000s. Back in the Russell T Davies era. Look at these trousers, like just the flares. The flares is just, oh, amazing. Oh, and it kind of has a bit of shading, like it's been kind of airbrushed on his torso. That's really cool. Bit of detail right there. Alright, next up we have the New Earth version of Rose Tyler. Very cool. This would have come with the ice extinguisher as seen in The Girl in the Fireplace. It was released in 2008 with the original backing card, then re-released in June 2008 with revised packaging, and also with Chip, obviously Cassandra's little man servant. I forgot to also mention that there was a Top Trumps version with her and Chip, and she was also released along with Cassandra and the Doctor with his long coat, as well as there being a version of her with K9. It's so odd as well, I think, comparing these figures to the new ones especially. So this is a newer one, obviously. We have Bill Potts. I am Bill Potts. Alright, no need to cry. Right, anyway. It's quite interesting to compare because I always thought, you know, the old ones looked so cool, and then I got these bad boys. I got the Series 10 set with the 12th Doctor and Missy as well. And, oh my god, I think it's just the articulation as well, because they have super thin arms, you know, kind of similar size to Rose's. But back in the day when they had really small arms, they had no articulation on them, as you can see. But in the newer ones, obviously they have articulation, like such good articulation. They can't bend outwards, but they can bend around and also bend at the elbow. You know, I feel like there's so much more intricate and really, really cool. So, here's Bill, anyway. So, Rose Tyler. I did like this outfit on her. I thought it looked really, really cool, to be honest. Her arms don't move outwards, but she can kind of do the whole 360 spin. Oh, she can move her legs, so she can walk backwards if she wants to. Because this t-shirt kind of bends up, so it doesn't restrain her in any way, which is great, and makes her sitting down easier as well. And she can bend her knee. Again, it's very stiff just because these are old figures. And her hair looks great, actually. Like, we've got some really good sculpting here. It's so intricate. Almost looks like I would eat that with some bolognese, you know. And we got that bit of brown rooty drip top. It looks really good. It's a great likeness. I can't move her head, sadly, because her hair gets in the way. But overall, it's a pretty good figure, and I like the detail of just, you know, the t-shirt kind of overlapping here. And I do like this t-shirt. It's kind of iconic, to be honest. I like the colours. Next up, we're going to be having a look at the 10th Doctor in his trench coat. Iconic. I want this trench coat as well. Focus, damn you. Right, so this one was released in 2006 with a radio-controlled K9. However, it was also released in 2007 in a US exclusive 6-figure gift pack, and in the UK there was the Doctor, Rose and Cassandra and the Doctor, Rose and Slitheen packs, which this was included in, also in 2007, and there was also a Doomsday set with him in. There were later versions with a darker beige upper on the Converse sneakers, and there was also a Series 3 version with his red plimsolls and Sonic. As well as this, there was a version with the Ghost Transmission triangulation gear, as seen in Army of Ghosts, featuring a removable backpack, which is so cool. And as well as that, there was a re-release in June 2008 with revised packaging, obviously, because they have to revise that packaging in every single release. You thought that was it? Okay, well, turns out there was also a release of this figure in a set with a Flight Control TARDIS, Martha and Captain Harkness, as well as a Utopia set with him, Martha, Professor Yana and Johnson's Master, and a Daleks in Manhattan version with him, the Dalek Sec Hybrid, a Pig Slave, and Dalek Thay. really, really cool. I understand why they did loads of releases of this, because obviously his jacket is pretty iconic at this point. It's split at the back for some sort of function, I guess. I guess so his legs can move about a bit more. His tie is red with the blue dots. And he's got his brown stripy suit on, his epic Converse. His arms can bend around 360, they can bend at the elbow. His hands don't move around, but they're quite malleable, which is quite cool, so you know, things can fit in them a lot easier. And he can bend his legs, but Jesus, they are stiff. Oof, that's how I feel sitting down. And he can bend his knees, his knees. And then he's also got the sculpt in the jacket of the buttons and the pocket. And there he is.
Oh wow, he has regular drawings. There goes pole vaults over the thing, here he goes, and there he is.
Next figurine is Dalek Sec. Here is Dalek Sec. What if he was in shot? There we go. Alright, slight issue with Mr. Dalek Sec. His sucker is a bit bent, and he has no whisk. But apart from that, my man is thriving. You know, look at him. He's having a good time. He's... So this one is radio control and has a name tag underneath his eye stalk, as you can see, to identify he is Mr. Sec as a part of the cult of Skaro. Here he goes. I don't have the controller. It's kind of disappointing that he's a bit broken, because he would be really cool otherwise. I remember him when he was in peak condition, which is so sad. Because I have a picture as well from my own and I's old room, which we used to share together, where there's this boy and the bronze Dalek next to each other. I might try and fix him up, but this bit is just literally just snapped off, and oh, it still moves around, it's still like working. I have to try and mend this somehow. It's been pushed in. Dear Lord, why? The Daleks, what have we done to them? I'll just kind of lay him down like that and pretend that he's broken or something, like, you know. But like he's meant to look broken, you know what I mean. Next we're going to move on to the Series 3 figurines. Very, very cool. So the first one I have to show you is the 10th Doctor in his blue suit and glasses. He's got his red plimsolls on, and he can be found with his sonic screwdriver accessory as well. And there are also suggestions to say that this figure may have been more limited in regards to its availability. So it's pretty cool that I own this, I guess. Like I mentioned in the last video, I kind of had more luck with getting these figures just because my nan worked at Woolworths. Or Woolies, or however you would call it. His legs are just all over the place because I guess we used to play with this one a lot too. Oof, God blimey. And these, painful. I really like the look of his shoes on these. They look really, really cool. They just stand out, they pop, you know what I mean? This is a really good outfit on him, I reckon. And his little glasses, which are not removable. They're just stuck on his head. This is what he looks like on the back. His little shoes. And yeah, definitely a Sonic would have fit in his hand, you know. Oi oi. You know what I mean. His legs he can do the splits. Oh my god, how impressive is that? Kinda looks interesting. Yeah, and then he can bend his knees, ops, and his arms all the way around, and his elbow. And the malleable hands, so things can fit in them. Very cool. Yeah, nice. And a bluish shirt. The next figure, and one of my favourites, Martha Jones. Hell yes. You already know it, you already know it. I feel like this likeness is pretty decent. It's a bit... It doesn't really look like her from the side, not gonna lie. But from the front, it definitely does look like her, you know. Her hair as well is pretty malleable, like it's that softer kind of plastic, so it is cool, but it's just like boo, boo. Very, very cool. She's got her hoop earrings in. How cool is that? And her, oh my god, her amazing red jacket, or burgundy, or maroon, or whatever colour you would call it. And her little necklace and everything, and her flared jeans, boot cut, as they were naturally back in the 2000s. This figure also comes in a 12-inch format, which is very cool. And there was also a second version which has the exact same sculpt basically, except brighter coloured makeup and lighter brown boots, which can also be found in the Series 3 10-figure gift set released in 2007, as well as with the flight control TARDIS and figures. And of course in the pre-mentioned Utopia and Daleks in Manhattan sets. I'm not sure which version this one would have been, because I feel like her shoes are kind of dark, aren't they? They're a little bit reddy. Not like ready as in SpongeBob, I'm ready, but ready as in, you know, red-y. And her makeup doesn't seem to be that bright, it just looks kind of normal, I guess. Natural, as they call it. I don't know who calls it that, you know. Her eyebrow seems to be coming off a little bit here, but it's probably just because it's old. This is Martha, and I love her to pieces, as you may or may not be able to tell. Anyway, next figurine is Lilith. I don't know why I whispered on that one. This is a 5-inch version which comes with a crystal ball accessory. This is very intricate. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Just that. So obviously this was in the Shakespeare Code. Pretty good episode. Yeah, solid episode. Martha was great in it. Doctor couldn't help but to mention Rose. Literally get over it. Sorry. Okay, so her body can twist a little bit, but not much. Her arm obviously can bend at the elbow. It's kind of troublesome to try and bend. Like, her arms can bend all the way around, but they're stopped a little bit by the hair and the coat and everything. But this one can. Mostly it's a bit stiff. Her hair again is like a more malleable plastic, so a bit cooler because, you know, obviously it's not going to get in the way as much. Her face looks so cool. It's scary. It's scary. And she can bend her legs, and the good thing about that is that there is kind of like some gaps here with the material, so her legs can bend easily, which is great. I think they should do that on more figures, although, nah, I don't know if it would suit all of them. But yeah, she can bend her legs. Her legs are kind of just plain and black, but she got her little booties on. And it's a really cool figure. I actually really like this one. It's very creepy, you know, you can put it next to a cauldron or something, you know, with her crystal ball, obviously, if you got that accessory. Or make your own, man. If you have a big crystal ball, or if you have one of those ones with the electricity and you touch it, oh, that's so cool. Sorry, I'm a child. Next one is, oh my god, our woman of the hour, cat of the hour, Novice Haim, or Novice Haim, Novice Hovis bread. So this one comes with a removable gun, and there's also a 12-inch version. Awesome. I love Novice Haim. Oh, I mean, obviously questionable in her first appearance she was in, but she got better. She was looking after the face of Bo, gridlocked. An underrated episode, I reckon. Series 3 as a whole, I think, is underrated. I love Series 3. Mostly because I love Martha, but also I just think it was awesome. So, and also the finale, I think, was actually really great. Novice Haim, her arms bend 360, she can move them around like this, she can bend her elbows, her hands are less malleable, but they do twist around 360. Her legs bend, her knees do bend, but I don't really see the point, because, oh, shoes, because, I mean, actually, she could sit. That's a good thing. She can sit down, because they did the other thing with this. With the little flap like they did to Lilith. And this is covering it, so it looks actually pretty good. I'm just struggling to bend her right leg because it's stiff, you know. You know the drill. Her face is looking great. There's some really good texture on here, you know. It just looks really, really cool. has like a hat. I want a hat like this. It looks like a pirate hat, but like modern, you know? And she's got her fanny pack, but it's to the side. I don't have a fanny pack, but I wish I did. Anyway. Enough of my Christmas list. Let's move on to the next figure. Dalek Faye. Woo, did I say Dalek Faye? I can't remember. This is Dalek Faye though. Dalek Faye though. Look at him. So this one's wheelie again. This one's okay. It's had a bit more damage than the other one. He has no eye stalk. He has no whisk again, and his sucker this time though is not bent. It's a little bit pushed in. I guess you could try and pull it out a little bit, but I don't want to break it.
Now it's time to bring it around town.
Oh yeah, I mean, would it make a difference though? There were 3 releases of this figure. There was a Series 3A release called Damaged Dalek Faye. B for Brony, B for Barbecue, B for Black Pudding. Disgusting black pudding. No thanks. Anyway, and then there was a Series 3B version where they changed the name to just Dalek Faye on the packaging, and it has a different picture on the packaging, but the figure was the same. And then finally there was a Series 3C version, which is in a revised blister pack used from 2008 onwards. So basically they just changed the packaging, which they do a lot. So yeah, he's got his lovely backing here. Next figurine, we're gonna have a little gander at Scarecrow. The scariest man. Oh my god, Human Nature and the Family of Blood. Amazing two-parter. Come on, objectively. You cannot tell me it's bad. Oh, it's so good. It's so good though. I forgot how good it was. Okay, so there was, again, 3 versions of this figure. There was one with the grey necktie, which is this one. There was a second one with a brown necktie, and there was a third one which was beige. And it's so scary. I think it's just scary because it reminds me a lot of Batman. Very, very good film. New Batman's coming out, by the way. How epic is that? What are your thoughts? I thought it looked awesome, and I can't wait to see it next year. I was going to say next week. I wish. But yeah, oh, look at his eyes. They're all sunken in, and his face. Oh, look at his little lips. It's a bit chapped there, mate. Get some Vaseline on there. And yeah, so he bends his elbow, he bends his arm. You can't really bend it all the way though because of his hay just stopping it. This is actually quite, it's not like it's a little bit malleable, but it's quite hard. It's really cool that you can see the seams in it. His hands, he can't really bend his legs because his dress thing is in the way. So his long shirt is in the way. He can bend his knees though, which is a little bit pointless unless you want to kneel him down, but I don't know why he'd be kneeling down unless he's, I don't know, is he proposing? I mean, good for him, man. His feet turn around 360, no scope. He's so cute. I don't know, there's something about him. I don't know, there's something about his design also just reminds me a lot of Tim Burton. Just his face looks a little bit like Jack Skellington, I reckon. I'm quite a big fan of Tim Burton, especially Nightmare Before Christmas. Obs. Next figurine, the Weeping Angel. You have something in your eye. Okay, so there was also a screaming version of this, obviously with a screaming face. And the earliest release of the screaming face version only said Weeping Angel on the packaging. The second release of that and later versions, however, changed this to Weeping Angel brackets Screaming version. Also available is an alternative Weeping version and an 11th Doctor Weeping Angel regenerating version. But this is the Series 3 version from Blink. Oh wow, Blink. An outstanding episode. First appearance of the Weeping Angels and the best appearance of the Weeping Angels perhaps. Nothing can beat the first one. I wish this was the screaming version just because I thought that would be really cool. But, you know, she's pretty, yeah, cool. Oh, and her wings, yes, of course, I almost forgot. They flap. It's pretty sick. Obviously, this is a little bit damaged from poor storage. But it looks really cool. It doesn't matter anyway, because I mean, she's made out of stone, so it just makes it look a little more creepy, you know. And she got some really good articulation. Actually, this is very much like the recent articulation, you know. I thought that it was just kind of, they used to all be kind of poorer articulation if they were older, like with Rose, because her arms just don't bend. There's no articulation except from at the shoulder. But no, apparently they were doing that for a long time actually with the thinner arms as well, because it's basically the same articulation as Bill. Interesting. So yeah, her arms can move around, they can't move outwards, but they can turn around as well, and they can bend at the elbow, and her hands can move around 360. Epic. Obviously she can't sit down, and she can't, there's a fly in my face, okay, and she can't twist or shout, let it all out, scream and shout and let it out. They say we are. Me is kind of pointing out. I like it a lot. Oh yeah, you could put them around the TARDIS like that. Oh, that would be so sick. I mean, obviously from the back it looks a little less effective, but oh yeah, I kind of want to leave it there, just like in Blink. I'm gonna keep her in the background actually. So that is actually it for the figures, but I do have bonus figure, a Sarah Jane Adventures figurine of Uvlavad Kulak, which was released with Sarah Jane herself. I don't know where Sarah is, which is very upsetting. I love Sarah Jane Adventures. I rewatched it recently and I did not regret a single moment. It makes me really sad that they can continue it, and you know, the passing of Sarah obviously this year, the Farewell Sarah Jane short film. Oh my god, it was emotional. Wow, yes. But yeah, his knees, well, he doesn't really have knees. He just kind of bends at the top of his legs. I mean boots. He's got really cool boots, by the way. I used to want these boots when I was going through my phases, but still kind of do want them. He can bend his legs, but it's stopped by the coat. But it's a very cool figure, perhaps one of my favourites of all time. I mean, I wish I had all of the Sarah Jane Adventures ones. Perhaps I'll start collecting them. And the Torchwood figurines. Although, oh dear, there's a fine line between collecting and hoarding, and I think I've kind of blurred that line a little bit. Robin Thicke can bend his head a little bit, but obviously stopped by the coat. Very nice coat, by the way. Nice sense of style of Levad. Very cool. And I really like him as well. I'll put him next to the Weeping Angel. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your favourite character options figurine, maybe that I've showed in this video, but also maybe your favourite one that's ever been released. Did you have all of these figurines? Are there any I've shown you that you never had? What do you think of them? I think they're awesome, personally. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you thought of it, and any childhood memories of yours. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Oh, and also have a wonderful day. Sorry. Where's the camera? Sorry, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.